Well, joining us now is Dr. Susan Trolier-McKinstry. She is the MRS Vice President. Congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
This is part of a 3-year period. That's how this society does this. Can you kind of explain that 3-year span, the process?
Sure. So when you're elected into the presidential line of the Materials Research Society, it's a 3-year commitment to serve as vice president, then past president. And the goal is for those 3 officers to work together to create long-term strategic initiatives for the societies so that we have enough longevity of effort to make good results for the society as a whole.
Makes sense. So what are your personal goals here in these 3 years?
There are a number of things that I'd like to see us evolve towards. One is to continue our focus on expanding internationally and engaging industry. That's something that we really started. It was an effort that was started almost 4 years ago, and we continue to evolve that process. And I'd like to see MRS continue to engage internationally, develop more international awardees for the major society awards. That's one of the focus areas that we have. A second focus that Christy Anseth is really passionate about and will be continuing is in increasing the diversity of the membership, increasing the diversity of the leadership line, so that it's very clear that MRS is an egalitarian society. It's one that welcomes a diversity of viewpoints and thoughts.
Good. Okay.
And
Great.
then one more thing that
I'll
add. One of the real pleasures of working with the Materials Research Society is the absolutely outstanding MRS staff. And I would like to see, as we engage in strategic planning, next year will be a major focus on a 10-year strategic plan for the society. I'm really excited about the opportunity to have the volunteers, the MRS board, and the MRS staff work together to develop the strongest strategic plan that we can.
Great. In your candidate statement, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you wanted to produce the highest quality meetings and publications.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you just laid out what you wanted maybe to take care of in these 3 years, but what did that specifically mean, and how do you achieve that?
So that's an excellent question. MRS has a history of running engaging technical meetings which are topically relevant, which are agile in the programming. And I think it's absolutely essential for the society to continue that, to evolve as fast as community and research evolves.
Sure, keep up with that.
Keep up with that, to keep ahead of that, to provide things even before people know they want them. I think that's really where we need to go with the meetings. In terms of publications, MRS has a strategic partnership with the Cambridge University Press and is beginning to expand its communications portfolio. And one of the key things that we will be working towards is to try and develop a cadre of committed authors that know that when they come to MRS, their publications will be made sure that quality is extremely high, the review process will be very rapid and fair, and their articles will receive high visibility once they're published. And that's really what we're aiming towards.
Okay, great. Now you mentioned volunteers earlier, and you've been involved as a volunteer, and that's really where most begin in MRS. How can this organization continue to kind of foster that next generation, to be society leaders from the volunteer level on?
Well, MRS was the very first society that approached me when I was a junior faculty member to start to engage in professional development. And I would love to see that continue, where they reached out early to say, we'd like to consider you as a symposium organizer. And that's a very it's a wonderful entree point to the society. You get to see how meetings are put together. You get to invite people that you really want to see their talks. So that's one way that I think we can do this very well. In the publications area, I think we really need to have young people act as some of our advocates so that our publications are getting wide visibility. It's recognized as one of the places to publish in our field.
Dr. Trolier-McKinstry, Vice President of the MRS, thank you so much. Enjoy your presidency next year.
Thanks so very much.
Okay, yep, bye-bye.